Shanti, Shanti.
Vasanakshaya vijnanam manonashamahmate samakalam chirabhyastha bhavanti paladayinah. This is from Yoga Vasishta. Simultaneous practice of knowledge, effacement of latent impression, and manonasha, annihilation of the mind, for a long time, O wise Rama, brings about the correct result.
Neelakantanji, just repeat it again.
Vasanakshaya vijnanam manonasha mahamate samakalam chirabhyastha bhavanti haladayinah. Simultaneous practice of knowledge, that is jnana, effacement of latent impressions, getting rid of vasana, that is, and annihilation of the mind. All the three continuously practiced for a long time will definitely bring about the result, O Raghava.
This suggestion by Yoga Vasishtha to Ram, if you ask and if you practice the direct path, all three can be done at one go. Path of knowledge, getting rid of latent impressions and abiding in self. All of us know that to live in this world we have to do something. Even if we don't want to do it, destiny will get us involved in something or the other. And this body has an inherent nature to do something. Do means walking, acting, and for its survival also, it has to do something. Action done by the body is not a problem. Doership is the problem. And doership is our internal environment, nothing to do with the type of work what we do. If we abide in awareness, as awareness, witnessing everything unfolding, we are following the Gyan Marga. You can call it self-attention, self-inquiry, witnessing, staying as an observer. This is Gyan Marga. You are into that. You are on this direct path of self-inquiry. Now the second thing is getting rid of vasanas or latent impressions or attachments and desires. When we practice to stay as witness, and all these tendencies of our mind when they try to pull us, we stay alert, awake, and try not to slip from this. This will automatically get rid of all latent impressions, all vasanas, attachments, desires. And this will make us strong in self as self. One thing, and it will give us all results, what Yog Vasishta is saying. It will give away doership. People do actions. Actions are divided into two types, prayas and shreyas. Prayas means actions which are done for pleasure. Pleasure of whom? This body. What are the pleasures of body, of sense organs? Taste, hearing, watching, whatever it is, bodily. They are all pleasures of this body. Who thinks he enjoys pleasures? Ego. Who is ego? The one who thinks he is the body. And that is the illusion. Because the moment you think you are the body, you have started your journey of suffering. And then what you are doing is, you are trying to seek pleasure from this body. Now you are in a cage, no escape. The moment you think you are the body, then you have to derive pleasure from the bodies. You don't have any other option. And that is the bondage. Witnessing frees us from this bondage. Witness breaks this knot which we have with matter. Matter changes, matter decays, matter is in time and space. We are eternal. We don't change. We are not in time and space. Understand this truth. Move out of it by just mere witnessing. And this shloka says, continue this practice for some time. Long enough if you continue practice. Bhagavan says, you continuous practice ongoing till it happens. Like flow of oil or a stream of water, of a river moving water. Continue in this. And I'll tell you, this practice becomes effortless. This practice is practice so long you are not getting any bliss out of it. The moment you start getting bliss, it is a self-sustained, no effort needed. It's a one-way path. All what we call as practice and continuous practice. It could be few hours of practice for a person, or it could be few years of a practice for a person. It all depends your all attachments to your sanskaras, your mental impressions. It's nothing about spiritual seekers. So many people around us, they are hardly attached to anything. If someone gives them a Mahavakya, they are free. But for some, it is a big, big issue because they have so many attachments. Look, all these things are connected to each other. Staying as a witness while the actions are happening through the body will get rid of doership. This doership is ego, illusory ego, and it drops. It drops, and another thing manifests in us, that pure energy. I know so many people I meet, they don't understand about anything about this energy. Most of them don't even believe in any God, but that's okay. You don't have to believe in God for it. You have to believe in self, but not that small self which we all recognize with. Divine self. Again, this divine can be a problem with some people who are atheists. They think I'm talking again about God. This is your real self within you, which has never been revealed to you because you act as a body all the time. If you give up this I am the body idea and let the action happen as it has to happen, it will free you from everything. What is Karma Yoga? Karma Yoga is the most misinterpreted path. Some people think Karma Yoga means helping others. The moment you think there are others, you are supporting ego. And then who are you who is helping others? That means that you are at a higher level, that you can help others. It is boosting your ego. Doesn't make you humble. But one thing you change in your karma, that can make a big difference. By acknowledging that whatever karmas are happening, this body is just an instrument and you are just watching. And that pure energy is flowing through the body and allowing the actions to happen. If you understand this much, that will be good enough. But now, if the actions of the body are selfish and you think like that, how is it possible? Then all the fruits of action of this body have to go to that absolute. You can call it power or divine self or pure self, but it has to go to that. Then who are you who is going to enjoy? You are the instrument. So just behave as an instrument rather than seeking pleasure from those actions. That means all the actions are devoted to that absolute. If you don't want to call it God, don't call it God. Let it be that energy. Devote to that energy. I am not this body. I am just watching it. But I am alert, I am vigilant, and I am watching the actions unfolding in the body, and I am dedicating all fruits to that power which is doing it. Then what will happen? Then all the actions of the body will be divine, isn't it? Because there is no ego-driven actions. What is happening with mental impressions, vasanas, desires? Because you are witnessing and you are keeping yourself as a non-doer, there is no chance for that ego to fulfill those mental impressions, because there is no energy going to that. There is no middleman. You are just witnessing as that pure self. And now the actions which are really essential according to the predestined will. Now this predestined will, we need to understand, also is coming from our previous desires and habits. And that's why some of the actions looks very selfish and crazy, in spite of understanding this much. Let it be. And then you will see how this flowering happens within, how that energy will change the course of this river of life. Then nothing is affecting us. Suffering or pleasure, it's all bliss. Because you have given up, you have surrendered all actions. You are not participating in any role. You're not even considering yourself as an actor. You're just watching this actor, this body, and you are witnessing. More you stay like that, more that energy unfolds in you. You will feel silence, you will feel stillness, bliss in you. You will be so overwhelmed with this pure energy that you want to kiss yourself, you want to thank you yourself. You feel that you are so fortunate to experience the self within. How this real transformation has happened, how the person has changed to divine energy. And it does not need a lot of efforts. Witnessing does everything for us. Because when you are witnessing, you are not moving with your petty desires and tendencies. So dispassion is happening simultaneously, vairagya. You become desireless. And in this desireless, you are touching the supreme bliss. You are moving out of the time and space dimension very fast. And this whole dream fades away in front of you, including this body. And I have to tell you honestly, you don't become smart, you actually become dumb. Dumb for these all petty actions which we think are so important. If someone thinks they become too smart after having that knowledge, I would say they are completely mistaken. But because that pure intelligence does everything through the body, it does things unexpectedly, unknowingly, unplanned, but in the most perfect way. But then there is no one inside to claim that I have done it. It is the paradox. You were in the body before, you are still in the body before, but somewhere that old you has died and the new you has taken place, but still there is continuity. You remember that old, then who are you? But your recognition with that old, that imagery, that memory is no more there. So you understand that something has dissolved or disappeared or merged in this pure energy. Then this is your conclusion. And the second understanding comes is that I was always this. Somehow I was entangled in my mind and mind was saying something and I was believing as if I was accomplice to mind. But as a matter of fact, even that time we were free. Abide in this silence once you reach it. If you want to understand this whole process can start with self-inquiry. Or process can start even before self-inquiry, because for some people it is too hard to do any self-inquiry. They have so much of vasana. Then other supportive practices are there. And I believe there are two very effective practices. One is japa, taking a name, constantly remembering that name. And the other is breathing exercise. Even if you can't do japa, you have zero devotion for any name, then you can do breathing practices, some pranayam. That has nothing to do with self-inquiry, but that will prepare you so you can come to this. But if you have intense longing, then your job is done. Then you don't have to do anything. Just witness everything. You are Brahman. Brahman is that pure awareness, unmoving stillness in all of us, non-doership in all of us. The one which never identifies with any of these gadgets of mind-body complex. It knows all these panch koshas are only koshas, they are layers, they are like clothes covering. And they keep changing. If one thing you can remember, never to identify with anything which is changing, you can be free in no time. Or the other way, identify yourself with changeless. Start receding from this ego. This ego is like a wave, superficial. It's only our existence in the reflected mind. It is like nowadays you can see a three-dimensional picture of a person, whatever they call it, hologram. It is like that. When you recede in your heart, start observing this mind, whatever it's doing, but not interacting with it, just observing. Then you are giving birth to divine energy within you, coming from stillness. If a person lives on auto mode all their life, they can never ever know this divine energy. Understand, even to do any task, we need some knowledge, some relative knowledge. We have to have a degree or some experience or practice. Here also we need to have some interest in it at least. But here applies only one rule, that you should have complete disinterest in all other activities. Then only you can witness. Otherwise, if you are interested in 100 things, you will always be in ego mode. How can you be in witness mode? Try to understand by logic. That's the only thing it needs, witnessing. Now, the word of caution is the moment people start witnessing, so many changes occur to the body. They get experiences and whatnot, and out of body experiences. And sometimes they think, I have reached, this is what it is. Because what gets happy by those experiences is that subtle ego which is still there. Allow everything to melt. Don't get attached to any experience. Let them come and go. Our true nature is not an experience. It is us. Don't look for experiences. Just be a pure witness to everything which unfolds around you and everything which unfolds within you, including thoughts, emotions, whatever these senses experience. Slowly and gradually, when you are experiencing silence, stillness, then become more alert, because it's not easy to be there. It's a once in a all your lifetime thing, and it will happen only once, and that will be end of this game of Maya. Don't take it lightly. It is a serious affair. Give all energy what you have to stabilize in this new form energy. Now you don't have any time to argue with anyone for anything, for any reason. This all is game of energy. It's transcending the earthly egoistic energy to out of illusion energy, which is beyond time and space. It is the undifferentiated energy, which is the substrat of everything here. It is a movement from duality to non-duality. It's ego which creates this duality. Egolessness is back to the source. There is no middleman, no God. If you don't like the word God, that's okay. You can call it Atman. They call it Atman. Atman means self. It is self. Ego and God stays together and die together. Witnessing is pure silence. No thought arises in witnessing. Witnessing never entertains any thought. All thoughts are external. We all are pure witness. No claim for any action. No point of any karma. When there is no doership, then who are we to say this is right or that is wrong? Supreme bliss. It is product of pure silence. When there is no mind. Practice is a state of vigilance, alertness. King Janaka, who was a Jnani, a lot of people used to come to understand how to abide in self. A yogi came to him and he said, I can't focus on this self. I keep slipping out of it. What should I do? He didn't say anything, but next day they both went for a walk in the city. And he asked that yogi that we both are going, but there is one rule you have to follow. I'll give you a big pitcher of oil. Keep it on your head, but not a drop should fall. If a drop falls down, we will cut your head. They both went around the city and came back. And then he asked him, what you saw? He said, I saw nothing. All my attention was on that oil on my head. All my attention was there. And Janaka said, exactly right. This is the way you need to practice. And he gave an example. He said, it's like a sword on top of your head, hanging by a fine hair-like thread. And if you slip from self, it will cut your head. Stay there. If we are so vigilant in practice, then we can never slip into mind again. Mind can show some tantrums for a while, but not forever. Mind will come looking for ego, its own accomplice. But if you don't entertain, it will die its own death. So karma yoga on path of self-inquiry is only this. Let actions happen. You only witness. Once you have a knack of it, you will start enjoying it because it is so blissful. Don't think you are surprised by the result in front of Jnani. Jnani is also surprised. You might have some clue, Jnani has no clue. This is the beauty of it. Things just happen. And in pure presence, things happen most beautifully. We all have that pure self in all of us. It is waiting to unfold in all of us. We only have to give it a chance. First is acknowledging that that energy is doing everything, not me. Give due credit to that. Don't say, I am doing, I have done, I have achieved. Give all credit to that. And then understand all actions are happening from that. A sage said beautifully that the way I practice is all good things I give credit to that absolute, and all bad things I take responsibility that I have done wrong. It is my mistake. And all good I give it to that. Actually, this is a very good technique. I'll tell you why. Because when we say something going wrong, mostly it happens pain after pleasure. Pleasure seeking activities for the senses give rise to pain at the end. Who does those things? Our desire. Where desire comes from? Ego. In a way, it helps us to melt away ego. Because yes, I did it, I wanted to do this, and then this has happened, so I take full responsibility of this. And slowly, only that is left. Ego knows everything, 5-year plan, 10-year plan, as if it has to live on this earth forever in a bodily form. While awareness is always there, eternal. It has no rush, no one to prove anything. Everything is that only. Whom to impress or not to impress? What to show? Awareness is completely naked. It has no religion, no country, no language. Its language is pure silence. It incorporates everything and nothing. It sees through everything as if there is no wall for it. It knows each individual more than they know themselves because it knows the substrata. Nothing can hide it. For it, everything is pure and divine because it can only see itself. Understand, ego sees ego and self sees self. They say, love thy neighbor. Neighbor is also me. And here there is only love. Hold on to this pure silence all the time. We all look for good person, good company, good friends, nice people. Always searching for good company. Not realizing that we have the best company. We are neglecting it all the time. Once you realize this company, you will never like anyone else more than that. This is self-love. Do you think these sages living in Himalayan caves are fools? They are in supreme bliss of their own self. They are in the best company. They have everything what needs to be there to be happy. But we don't have to go to a cave, leaving family behind. In our destiny, we have to have a family that's okay. We can have that bliss as a householder. Remember, we are this pure stillness. All uneasiness is not us. This is superimposed in form of mind, external to us. Body and mind is part of the play. We all have enjoyed this play or suffered in this play. But when realization comes, none of this is me, the play disappears for us. It appears only like a mirage. It's there but not there. That is why they say Jagat Mithya, word is illusion. Because it is changing, it is deceptive, it's product of the mind. Every day it disappears when we go into deep sleep. And every day it disappears, every day it comes. But it is good enough to fool us, can you believe? And we think we are smart. And this mind makes us do all stupid things. Makes us involved in actions for this body, for the senses, knowing that it will be dust soon. And only loss will be that we still live in illusion. This illusion has to go. Make this your own determination, solid. And this illusion has to go, and you don't have to go. You have to live where you're living, in whatever circumstances and whatever things are. You are not running away. Where would you run? Wherever you will go, you will take your mind with you. And mind will show you this word. And as Bhagavan says, Mano Nasha, finishing this mind. And the best way to finish mind is not paying interest in it. Staying as a witness. Gita says, you do action, but don't be after the results. Don't be desirous of fruits. It's next to impossible. If you have doership, then you will have desires and you will be looking for fruits. Non-doership, whatever comes and goes, you are witnessing, you are desireless and you are free. Throughout the day, actions occurs through body. People appreciate, watch it. Actions happens, things don't give desired results. People comment on you, criticize you. Just witness. Don't give up your witnessing, your stillness. First, your witnessing will be there for mundane things and you will be fine. But when something comes big, you might get swept away. Have courage to stay there. Understand when your longing is to stay as pure self. Pure self in you will help you to establish yourself. It will also pull you. They say you take one step, he takes 10 steps. This strength to stay in stillness comes from grace only. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. So good to see all of you.